Other piece, it's number 11. He taught me how simply I exist. He taught me who I am, where it all started and ended with me, and everything in between. He taught me the intimate sanctuaries of my thought and the intimate sanctuaries of my heart. When he held me, I was simply me, softly alive within myself. When he held me, I was all there, not scattered, not in quiet frenzy. I was in the intimate serenity of myself. This, this is who I am. This is what I want. When he held me, there was no longer a world inside me on the verge of destruction that I was desperately trying to hold together. When he held me, I was no longer a subtle tremor, ever trembling, bracing for an earthquake that would break me. When he held me, I was no longer a fighter, no longer in rebellion, no longer guarding. When he held me, fear no longer held on to me. Fear no longer clinged on to me, no longer wrapping its vines around me. When he held me, he was just holding me. He himself was so soft about fear that when my fear met him, as he reached out his arms around her, she wrapped her arms around him. She reached out and returned his embrace. She was so soft herself when he held me. He himself was so soft about fear that when my fear met him, as he reached out his arms around her, she wrapped her arms around him. It reminds me, I have two thoughts about this. The first one, it's this thought that I've been having recently about emotions and experiencing emotions and realizing that there is this unseen, untapped depth of experiencing of clarity of of it. There's always not just more of it to experience, but a diversity within it itself to experience. So, for example, serenity. There's a I feel that there's so many ways of being alive and being able to experience serenity, and it's it could be like a simple feeling of being serene and just feeling calm and at ease, and then it could be a completely new experience, a completely new depth to the experiencing of serenity, where it feels completely new, where it feels like, oh, like I didn't even know this was possible to feel this serene, or I didn't even know it was possible to experience serenity in this way. And I feel that when I wrote this piece, I was experiencing fear, this expression of fear in such a new way. He himself was so soft about fear that when my fear met him, as he reached out his arms around her, she wrapped her arms around him. And the second thought is that as I was reading this, it actually reminded me of something that I wrote. And I hope it doesn't take me like a million years to find it right now. But something that I wrote a couple of days ago, and it was one of those pieces that I really, really, really enjoyed, and I was initially I was going to share it on my Instagram, but it was just like one of those things like I'm just gonna keep it to myself for a bit. And then as I was reading this, it reminded me of that. So maybe it was meant to be in this video. Maybe it depends on whether or not I find it. Okay, wait. I found it, guys. And it did not take a million years, just like an hour. So this is it. I don't quite know who you are, a lover, an angel, a god. But whenever I'm in this world with you, it doesn't matter to me. Somehow it feels like this world of ours is the very thing that my heart desires more than anything else. See, it is a silence that my soul craves for and lusts after. See, it is a world where the culmination of the alls and everythings that I am and the bits and pieces of who I am belongs. See, it is a world where I feel myself so intimately alive. See, it is a world where the sound of our heartbeats are the most dominant sound. The sound of our heartbeats together. The world moves in rhythm with our hearts. This world has harmonized itself with the sound of our heartbeats. See, it is a world where time honors my existence. I can feel its entirety in each heartbeat. I don't quite know whether you are lover, angel, or God, but I do know that you are here in this world within me, because this world savors your existence. This world understands the rhythms and harmonies of your existence. And I wonder if this world needs us as much as we need it. And I wonder if this world knows that I would plead in shameful desperations to God to leave me here, to just let me be here. Does this world know that which it has given unto me? If this world only knew that here I live in the absolute depths of the intimacies of my soul, and yet this world knows, a world that has cared in such unimaginable depths for us, a world that created a time that savored our existence, a world that created a life from the very rhythms and harmonies of our heartbeats. I could no longer plead in shameful desperation. My heart was now adamant to stay where it belonged, and shameful desperations turned into bold musts. I have to stay where time honors my existence, where I am alive and living from the very heartbeat of my existence. I still don't know whether you are lover, angel, or God, but I do know that this world exists because we are together. I do know that this world exists wherever we are together. I do know that I belong here in this world with you. So that brings me to the last piece that I'm going to read. And we also got a bonus piece, which I just read. And the last piece is number 27. A universe of its own, alive. I am alive in this universe. It feels grand and extraordinarily beautiful. The life that is so majestic that it experiences you so purely. It is beyond anything that I have ever imagined. A life where we are a DNA strand so intricately interconnected that we are one and the same. It feels a life that breathes within the breath in my body and a life that beats within my heartbeat. For beyond anything that I have ever imagined, it is the spirit of my life that I desire, that I so deeply desire to feel that which beats within me, to feel that which breathes within me, alive in my life. Guys, I mean, this literally just flows from that bonus piece that I just read, where I talked about living in living in that world, living in that world where time honors my existence, where it moves in rhythm and harmony with my heartbeat. And here, this piece that I chose, a universe of its own, a universe of its own, alive. I am alive in this universe. It feels grand and extraordinarily beautiful. The life that is so majestic that it experiences you so purely. A life where our DNA strand is so intricately interconnected that we're one and the same. It feels a life that breathes within the breath in my body and a life that beats with my heartbeat far beyond anything that I have ever imagined. And I mean this is a magic that's happening here right now, right? This is me reading one of my pieces and it reminding me of something that I wrote earlier that I wanted to share at the time, but I didn't feel like it was quite the right moment. And then cut to now where I'm like, I want to share it, and I do. And then I read this next piece, and it's such a of the same. It's of the same essence. It's of the same energy, and it's like this. These moments are those rich um, moments of life, of clarity, of experiencing um, so intimately who I am, who we are, and being able to share and connect um, in these experiences. And I feel that it's such a beautiful note to end on. I also feel that the energy of this video compared to the other ones, and it felt it felt a lot different. The pieces that I've read today, they really felt all it really felt like it just said everything by itself. I which makes me really appreciate being able to express this clarity and express who I am when I could just read something that I felt inspired to write and share my voice in that way. And it's like I've said it all essentially in the piece. Um, so that's I really appreciate that. Um, I hope you guys. I hope that you guys that your soul feels nourished. Your soul feels nourished in some way. That your spirit feels renewed in some way. That some part of you feel seen, you feel understood, you feel known in some capacity. Um, yeah, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon for my next video where I'll be reading pieces from the last book, and it's called The Goddesses Anthology. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your night. Take care.